Once you get Christmas and Halloween out of the way, where can you go with holiday specials? Considering how contentious shipping is in Star Wars, summer is a much safer bet than Valentine's Day. Hello, geeks, freaks, and all those unique. This is EmceeFrodis. LEGO Star Wars has been coming out with yearly holiday specials. The latest one dropped a few days ago on Disney+, covering all things summer in LEGO Star Wars Summer Vacation. In this installment, the heroes of the Resistance go on vacation before they plan to go on separate missions. Finn wants everyone to have a fun vacation together, but he's having trouble keeping his friends close. He receives visits from Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Leia Organa, telling him 3 stories of vacations they took in the past to guide him on his way. Now, the LEGO Star Wars specials have been okay, but not what I would call great cinema. To be honest, I had to watch my review of LEGO Star Wars Holiday Special to remember what happened in the first one. After I finished watching it, it had absolutely no impression on me. There was a lot going on, considering how thin the plot actually was. When it came to the Halloween special, Terrifying Tales, they settled into the Simpsons Treehouse of Terror-esque 3 stories with a wraparound technique, and this is the one that I think really fits this particular story. I don't think they've quite perfected it in Terrifying Tales. The wraparound was a little busy and the vignettes weren't quite up to snuff, really borrowing too heavily from horror movies. However, I think they figured out the formula finally because Summer Vacation is absolutely delightful. The wraparound is mostly an excuse for setting up the vignettes, but it does what a good wraparound should: explain why these stories are important to tell. In this case, each story helps Finn along with his emotional arc. The stories are also better than in Terrifying Tales because they felt more original and organic to the Star Wars world. This is probably because Summer Vacation is a bit more of a nebulous concept as opposed to Christmas and Halloween. Vacation can be taken a lot of different ways. In the first story, we get a tale of a young-ish Obi-Wan Kenobi letting loose with the help of a rebel spy. I love getting a story about Obi-Wan so fresh off of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I feel like they took that series into account when doing this, especially with Leia's reaction at the end, which seems very much like it came out of the knowledge that Leia had an adventure with Obi-Wan and knew him fairly well. The Obi-Wan story is pretty thin on plot. It's little more than an excuse for James Arnold Taylor to sing, but you know what? Totally here for it. And I'm not going to the next Star Wars celebration, but if we don't see pictures of any Obi-Wans dressed up in pink Hawaiian shirts, I'm going to be very upset. Get on it, cosplayers. It was an utterly silly story, but I very much enjoyed it. It was frothy fun, but that's still fun. The meeting with Anakin Skywalker's ghost was probably the best part of the wraparounds, with him appearing in a snorkel that made him sound like Darth Vader with the requisite sand jokes. Matt Lantern was having so much fun and just had so much energy, calling himself Sky Guy and just being a lot of fun. The vignette itself was bonkers, with Palpatine and Vader taking a vacation on Scarif. But come on, Weird Al is finally in the Star Wars universe, even if it is the LEGO version. How can you dislike that? There's also just something utterly charming about Palpatine's dark side need for power extending to cheating in beach games in order to be ruler of the beach. But what absolutely makes this special is Leia'S Story, which, let's be honest, is actually Ben and Han's story, with Leia mostly there to observe them. This is the highlight of the special. This story has heart. We get to experience the Organa Solo family just as that, a family, and it's freaking beautiful. My heart does absolute pitter-patters over pre-Padawan Ben Solo dressed as his father. Called it. Considering the fantastical nature of the LEGO Star Wars stories, this one actually rang fairly true for me. There were some jokes, such as 3PO going full Russell and Almost Famous and calling himself a golden god, that would obviously not have happened canonically. But this idea of Han not thinking Ben is old enough to do things like fly the Falcon, and Ben having a cute little romance prior to becoming a Padawan, this is stuff I believe. Frankly, I need to believe it. These LEGO Star Wars specials have been giving us something we've been missing from the current Star Wars offerings, and that's any attention being spent on the sequel era. The live-action series have been pretty firmly either very soon post-Empire or during the Dark 20. Since Resistance ended, the animated sector has been focused on the end of the Clone Wars, and the books are mostly doing High Republic. Why has the sequel era been mostly ignored? I think a big part of that is the reception of The Rise of Skywalker. No matter what you actually thought about the quality of the movie, there's no getting around the fact that it's not been well regarded by the audience. There's also been a fair amount of backlash from the talents involved in the movie, making it harder to do anything with most of the younger cast as they're trying to distance themselves from the franchise. The LEGO specials are a safe place where the sequels can be played with. Since they're animated, the original actors can be fairly easily replaced. It's also skewed towards a younger and much more forgiving demographic. It's also non-canon, thus isn't interfering with any potential long-term plans that the story group has. It's nice to see these characters again, even if it's just in LEGO form. The 2 sequel films I acknowledge happened are amongst my favorite of the franchise. I want to see these characters again, and I like seeing them be really goofy and having a good time. This special might not be the most vital bit of storytelling we get, but it was fun, and this one in particular is one I could see watching again. So comment down below with your thoughts on LEGO Star Wars Summer Vacation. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. I do videos about Star Trek, Star Wars, and lots of other geeky things. If you want to support me, please visit my Patreon. You can also buy me a coffee, or you can go to my Redbubble and TeePublic and buy my geeky graphic designs. So until next time, live long, and may the Force be with you.